Hello and welcome to another episode of Bad Comic Review. Today we are looking at Warlord issue 6. Well, now we pick up where we left off with Morgan being outside of Skartaris. And he staggers into a campsite where he finds a Russian woman who quickly pulls a gun on him, but he collapses before she can shoot him. And he wakes up to people that apparently know his name, and they call him Colonel Morgan. And they explain that they found his name on the dog tags that he wears. And they introduce themselves. They're an archaeological expedition at Machu Picchu in Peru. And that's where he is. And they ask him why he looks the way he does with the strange costume. And he explains that he was in Skartaris and all his adventures there. And then he asks them what the date is, and they say April 16th. And he says, April? My plane was shot down in June 1968. And they say, you don't understand. It's 1977. And he's like, oh my gosh, 8 years. You mean I'm 51? We get a little bit of this where he's going to show them where he came from and all this, but they found something in the ruins, underneath the ruins of Machu Picchu. It's an older building, and he's goes with them to check it out, and they find this big stone slab that's got an inscription on it for a creature that apparently angered the gods. Well, they remove the seal with dynamite because that's archaeology in the 70s, and they find a big statue behind it, but, Travis is confused. Why would you hide a statue? And suddenly, a helicopter shows up, and they say, oh, it's your people. And he's like, what do you mean, my people? And the helicopter's labeled Air America. Morgan gets the idea these are company men, which, company men usually was code for CIA or Black Ops back then. He thinks they're coming to kill him, and it's pretty obvious they are. So these guys show up with M16s. One of them slaps the crap out of a scientist because he hears a Russian accent from the woman, even though she's an archaeologist. And that makes Morgan spring into action, and he quickly dispatches the men into a fight, but just then the statue comes to life and tears one of the men up and throws the others around. Pretty much kills two of them pretty handily. And then Morgan figures out what to do because of the inscription. And he jumps on it and covers its eyes, which makes it fall down, and it shatters. Morgan says, well, I can't stay here. He says, neither can you, to the lady, because she's Russian. They're going to come back. And he says, you want to come with me? So he takes her to the shuttle, and they take off back through the tunnel that he came through. And then the entrance is sealed behind him. And then one of the company men wakes up, says, where's Morgan? And Professor Smart Alec Lee says, the second star to the right and straight on till morning, which is a quote from Peter Pan. So I think we're going to see that guy again. But in the meantime, we get an epilogue where the Warlord and this Maria come, and the shuttle stops. And he says, where's Tara? And he's calling out for her. And she says, are you sure this is the right place? He says, yeah, I left my helmet someplace over here. I've only been gone a day. And then we see his helmet's covered in cobwebs. So obviously time moves differently in the hollow earth of Skartaris. All in all, a pretty fun segue. We've got a new character, a new lady sidekick for him. He seems to be quite the ladies' man. And she does have a rifle, so they've picked up some extra weaponry. And it was an interesting little adventure. And it's good to see him going back. He immediately wanted to go back to find Tara, whatever her name is, and be back with her. So he doesn't feel like he fits in anymore. It's been 8 years. Realistically, a lot has changed for him. However much time has actually passed to him. So it's a good issue. I recommend it. The cover picture's pretty cool, although that's not exactly what happens in the issue. It's a pretty interesting cover. And the art is solid. It's all Mike Grell. He does a great job as always, and I think it's worth checking out. So it was colored by Liz Berube, something like that, and she did a good job. The art is really solid all around. So it was a fun adventure story, and I'm looking forward to next issue as always. So hopefully we'll get to that one soon. If not today, then probably next Wednesday, because it's Warlord Wednesday. And as always, thanks for listening. We hope to see you on the next episode.